well on the match that decides it all. Let's just put that in perspective.
It's a lot of weight on
mental
Honey's shoulders. His broad Danish shoulders. But Team Gigantti, they're coming out with what we usually expect from what I call the dive heart, the combination of the Reinhardt and the Diva at his back with the dive DPS that can also come in. We're going to have Moira there as well from Ripper. That's going to make sure they can stay in the game for a while. That's a lot of healing coming if they stick together.
Yeah, Singularity going for foul on the Reaper. So they're going to do what they did last time around on Nepal, just hold that point steadfast, make sure that Reaper stays alive, and then have him just chunk through the tanks. Although Neil's going to have something to say about it. LH Clouding moving up on the Reinhardt now is going to be able to duel with Nerf. Remember, he is one of the Reinhardt's that's quickest ult charge time of the current moment. We'll see if that can still form about to 30% to about 47%, already ahead on charge time. You can see he's just pushing forward, actually pushing Singularity completely off the point. The first Riptide is going to come through, although he's going to get destroyed. Nerf finds the Flame Strike, and in fact, Davin and Neil are going to fall as well. Bolting does get demexed, but Singularity going to be able to clean the rest of his fight up. Coalescence used rather late, did get it online, but unfortunately the rest of his team are just going to fall by the wayside. Point does go over to Singularity, and they're going to be able to getting a couple of seconds on the point thus far.
Indeed, the streams were crossed, but Team Singularity came out on top. We saw Gigantti come in with a wholesale swap of Jaws. No longer the dive heart that I was expecting. Instead, they decided to move Davin over to that Zarya, and Neil hopped off onto the Junkrat. Unfortunately, it was not enough damage. He did bring out the Riptide, but Nerf, taking self-preservation into his own hand, took it down with a Fire Strike. Well,
for the start of the fight as well, Gigantti actually used that Earth Shatter. Nerf does the same thing. Singularity finding the 5-man sound barrier, and they are just moving outside the point right now. Not too wanting to contest it for the time being. Flowers actually falls up to Messer. Gigantti now moving on. They have got the man advantage. Nerf still walking back from the spawn. They're going to rush it for the time being. Moira does get sent sky high, very low. Lid's going to have to back out rather sharpish. They might just let this one go. They're on about 45%. Another Riptide is now available from Nil. Nerf does find the pen onto Massa, and that's a massive Graviton Surge as well. Well, I say that. It finds Obling, but he is one chunky pig. Does end up getting off the point as well. Although I say that as Foul just jumps and leaps up into the air. That Death Blossom only finding one. Coalescence is going to keep both teams alive for the time.
And now Lind, it's up to him to make sure that Team Singularity can stay in here. Down goes to Sound Barrier from Master of the Team Gigantti, and falls caught in a trap.
He is going extremely low as well, caught in no man's land, straight in the middle of the point. Neil finds himself going rather high, hitting the skybox, and then the tide will come through in the end. With Foul falling, that's a lot of damage actually lost by Team Singularity right now. Honey tried to escape it, but no wall ride can save you from that Riptire. LH Cloudy does find the charge straight on top of Nerf. They are stalling the point out. That's an extra 40% they acquired there, Legday.
Absolutely. Team Singularity using the beef to their advantage here, Jaws. And now Davin, he's going on a little bit of a hide and seek. He's going to be in the back, maybe? No, he's deciding, you know what, I'm just going to keep this in my back pocket, save it for a rainy day. The Graviton Surge is going to make Team Singularity experience a little bit of density for their namesake, Jaws, a little bit of science that's going to be coming through, courtesy of Davin. Cloudy's ready to try and follow up, but maybe a bring out by Earthshatter first, so he can accrue it incredibly quickly by swinging into that Graviton.
There's the Graviton Surge. This time it's a little bit of a bigger one. Nerf is caught, Honey is caught as well, but a big hook on Delish Cloudy to stop him swinging away, but I'm not sure it's going to matter. RCK is going to find Obling, Nerf falls as well. Davin charging forward, finding the D-suit, finding the kills. Gigantti made that look easy. They do use Shatter, and they used the grab as well, but they still have a couple of, well, one support ultimate online, and that's self-destruct.
Yeah, the Shatter was for death throws of Cloudy before he went down, but luckily he took Team Singularity down with him, Jaws. And now, ready for a little bit of a re-engagement on the side of Team Singularity. They have a Coalescence, should it be required, but they are going to be going up against a Riptire from Nil, and this has caused problems before. Honey's been his main target, but Honey's almost got the Sand Barrier. He can use that to protect him, but you don't really want to use it there.
There it comes. There's the Earth Shatter as well. Nerf finds 3 people, but Lind is already going to go down. Nerf's going extremely low as well. Even after that Sound Barrier, it gets completely booped off the point. LH Cloudy swinging for the fences, does manage to take him out. Didn't quite want to actually block that self-destruct. Takes a little bit too much damage for it, and that actually allows Singularity to cap the point. 88% and counting. Massa is going to fall as well. They need to be able to react. They need to be able to react fast. There's another Graviton. It's going to find a couple of members. Obling using that whole hog in the middle of it all, but Neil just free-raining those bombs in on the grab. Is going to find 2, but Foul opens it up with a Death Blossom as well. This guy is immovable.
Indeed, it's been swinging for the win a lot, but they've usually been low-impact Death Blossoms, and now he's just got to keep Nerf safe. He's so low, he needs a little bit of healing, but Honey at his back is all he's got.
They're still contesting. Overtime is ticking down. Nerf no way near that ultimate just yet, but Lin sends out the Coalescence first stuff, and Ribbit is going to do exactly the same thing. Self-destruct comes in, but he doesn't quite find anybody but Nil. He's the explosive expert. Sit back down, RCK, who ends up taking out 3. They're going to be able to take the point again. Recapture 66% to 99.
And Gigantti there, they invested both of their support ultimates before a good cause. It was potentially the last fight there. And now Davin and Cloudy, they're sitting pretty jaws. Cloudy's going to want to come out first, potentially, with that Earthshadow. As I said before, he can accrue it really quickly by swinging into the Graviton once Davin puts it down. On the side of Team Singularity, it's looking a little bit bare over there. The ultimate pantry is pretty empty, save one bread roll, and that's going to be Mulf with that self-destruct.
It's going to be one more push as well. We are up to 90% now. There's the Graviton Surge, catching everybody on the sidelines. Self-destruct gets sent in, it catches 3! No, it was actually too high up, and he dipped straight under. Fine Mulfic, fine Honey, fine Opling, and they may have just found the first map. Overtime ticks down. They found the team kill. Gigantti with already 1 point on Nepal on the board.
A couple of fancy moves there from the side of RCK, combining with Davin's Graviton Surge. Great use of the tank ultimates there from Gigantti, and that's what we've come to expect. Some high-tier tank play from the Finnish side. Team Singularity out of it, they're giving them a run for their money. It was 100-99, so you cannot count out Team Singularity here. We'll have to see what they decide to bring out on the Sanctum. Here is where some long-range hit scan can roam free. You want that soldier who can play across the pit. He doesn't suffer from too much damage fall-off. He can play from relative safety. He can also keep his support safe as well with that biotic field. But you've got to send your tanks on a foray forward. And here, this is where we saw Team Gigantti start to fall apart last time. Cloudy and RCK not making the most coordinated dives. Can they do it this time?
Well, Davin is on the Tracer now as well, so he's going to pay Opening a visit. I can imagine this guy is very much a solo operator on the Tracer, likes to be able to disrupt the communication of the Mac line and then make his way from there. Although, right now, it will just be more of a cluster of bodies as they do try and take the high ground to start off with. Nerf already falling over. Ripper actually gets paid a visit by foul, but he does find the recall. Although Gigantti, they got a couple of names already etched in the skulls of Team Singularity. They should just be able to cut the point now as a quick disengage.
And Nerf being the first to fall there meant that Team Singularity were wanting for space, and their big old monkey friend wasn't able to provide it for them. And now Team Gigantti, they can try and start to lock down these points of ingress, make sure that any forward momentum by Team Singularity is paid for in their health bars and in blood as well. Fal's already darting forward, picking up the health pack. He's going to challenge out Davin, but Davin doesn't want that fight. He wants to take out Nerf instead.
Wow, Nerf goes down instantly again. As soon as that Discord orb lands, he's already used that leap as well. He actually used it to get closer to the point. Wasn't able to do anything more and ends up falling instantly. Second time in a row that's happened. They're going to make a quick reset again. These very, very short pushes here from Singularity are quite thought out, really. I mean, they're only losing about 15% per push for the time being. Nothing drawn out. They know when to pull the. They know when to cut the cord.
Well, speaking of Team Singularity's thoughts, Obling has had enough of the soldier. He's moved over to the deck Genji. It's going to be full dive here. He's going to get the go from Fal, and in goes the Tracer.
Transcendence comes down, maybe a little bit too late to save Neil. That pulse bomb didn't quite connect with anybody. Faust in the back line, but he has to deal with Massa. And in fact, both DPS from Team Singularity are going to be able to deal with him. Singularity now moving on to the point as their Tranquility does end up landing, but no one saved the DPS at that time. Davin's still got that pulse bomb as well, and LH Cloudy running a rampant in the room, takes out Honey and Lint. That's a triple kill for the Monkey God, and Singularity are going to have to make another 3-set.
And I wonder if Team Singularity here needs to sort of move over to a Moira or something, because Nerf just isn't able to stay in the match for that long. Look at his ult charge, he's only got 65% over the entirety of this stage, Jaws. Meanwhile, Cloudy's already got his ultimate, he's used it to some great effect, already 12%. And every time Nerf dies first, and then Team Gigantti have all the space they want, and Team Singularity, they're put in a box and they're crushed summarily.
I feel like I can feel fire coming out of Davin right now. He wants to make it to the finals again and lead Gigantti to victory. Opening's going to take out RCK. Neil unlocks that tactical visor. Nerf is going to fall, but that self-destruct does erase him, but there's still a 2-for-2 trade to start off with. 2 tanks and now a DPS going down for Singularity. Davin's just going to chase down Honey. Massa wasn't going to let him go either. A Desperation Blade is there on 99% in overtime. Obling's on the point, but he has to make this work. He is going to be able to secure at least half the point capture, but he's got no deflect. and all the bullets are flying towards him now. Team Singularity, they need to be able to touch. Ripper's opened up with that Transcendence to make sure they all stay alive. Even Davin finding one with the Pulse Bog. Molfix's mech actually disappears, and 99% is going to tick down pretty quickly as soon as Singularity get wiped out.
Yeah, Davin's got some big targets in front of him, and he's ready to track them all down. He's got Nil at his back as well with a dash reset, and that will be Team Gigantti claiming Nepal 2-0.
What a fantastic showing, especially on the Inner Sanctum there. There was nothing really that Gigantti could, that Singularity could do. 0% to 99 or 100% as it did tick over. Seemed like an immovable force on the back line. Nil was just free to use his tactical visor, free to build up that charge so quickly. What really could they have done there?
Well, I would have liked to have seen Lind survive a little bit longer, and I think that may well have come down to the supports or the D.Va sticking with him more, trying to make sure that he was around for a little bit longer. But it looks like when we go to the dives, Singularity are a little bit outclassed. Only
a little bit. I mean, Davin, again, solo operator in the back line. He's just making things work over and over again. The pulse bombs are just charging so quickly. And prioritizing the mechs is something we've seen him do quite a lot as well. Destroying the tank line, then his soldiers will be able to rain free with the bullets. We're going to jump to a quick break, guys. We're going to reload our gun, and we'll be back momentarily. Hey guys, we're fully locked and loaded now. Singularity versus Gigantti. Gigantti, one map up at the moment, just took Nepal 2-0.
Yeah, showing a little bit of supremacy on Nepal, but we're going to have to see if we can try and bring it back in our second map. As we remember, Gigantti need to take 2 maps to secure themselves a place in the playoffs, and they are currently sitting on the edge of that, Jaws. They're on the edge of their seats, and it's going to be Hollywood that has been picked by Singularity.
Yep, that means more tank play. And something I wanted to highlight in that previous game was the fact that Davin could get to the back line. I mentioned it right at the very end. He's very, very good at just making sure there are tiny lapses in communication and just slipping his way in, destroying the backline support, or even just damaging them enough they have to reposition themselves, and then his tanks can finish them off. Singularity, maybe they need to run this more Death's Ball style composition in the more tank-orientated fronts and just make sure their backline aren't straying too far away from them.
Yeah, we see similar things coming out of Angry Titans, and last week we also saw that at Disband take the same sort of approach, where they could really try and keep the support safe because of all the tanks that were in proximity. Farl and Obling are both very capable Roadhogs who can maybe get some good hooks onto Davin should it be required. And of course, Nerf can survive a lot longer when he's on that Reinhardt. He was trading blows with Cloudy pretty effectively on the first stage of Nepal, but when it came to Winston v Winston, he was just wasn't around for long.
Just got a little bit outclassed. Gigantti are on the defense first up. Welcome to Goldshire Pictures. Might be heading towards the warehouse.
Warcraft
we'll have to wait and see.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Well, in about 60 years, according to Overwatch.
Maybe. Maybe there's Easter eggs already in there. We don't know.
Oh, yeah. They've got the entire script in
It's one of those Easter eggs where you like, the film comes out and then you're like, oh, that's what that means. And there's like a random poster somewhere of something and you're like, oh. It's the long game. Blizzard playing the long game with that one.
Well, speaking of posters, Jaws, the poster child of the Team Gigantti defense will be our favorite combination of supports for Mercy and for Zenyatta staying in Cafe. Name a more iconic duo.
Mercy, Zenyatta, Cafe.
I suppose it's a trio, but it's going to be Nil who's coming up on the Junkrat instead of the Soldier. Usually we see a Soldier there. He can put his biofield down, make sure that the Zen's going to be there for a long time. However, Nil be putting down a lot more burst damage with that Junkrat, and that means he's going to be a lot more effective against tanks when they come in, like Nerfed and like Farl if he decides to swap over. But it does look like Farl is going to come out on this, on the Pharah. This could be a triple DPS coming out. No, Morph. Okay. Just having a couple of pot shots there with a Widow, see if you can get lucky. Unfortunately, not today. Yeah, Honey switching over to the Mercy to make sure he can pocket Farl, make sure he can charge the ult rather quickly. We've seen this as quite a counterplay actually to the people who actually hold up in Cafe. Normally you see Soldier as a, you know, you can easily pick the Pharah Mercy out of the sky, but the problem is that concussion rocket could do wonders for them. Honey actually getting taken out by David straight away, although he's actually going to take out both duos as he helps Nil destroy them. Opening's trying to get in the back line, but he should probably retreat rather quickly. Your main DPS duo is out, and he's just going to take control of the streets. No Soldier, no problem, says Davin, picking himself up. Most of a charge of his pulse on taking out both elements of the pharmacy. That's some impressive trace to play if ever I saw it myself. Jaws, even with your Zenyatta down. Of course, Ripper did get rezzed by Marsa, but that did mean that the Discord Orb was out of circulation for a little bit, and now Ripper's putting down a lot of pressure onto Farl already. Nerf's going to be doing the same on the ground, but he wants his tank line instead. Honey's dead yet again. How does Davin keep finding these kills? RCK managed to take out Farl, so already Team Singularity, kind of reminiscent to what we saw on Shrine a second ago. They're losing very, very quick pushes here, so they will make a big use of their time, but the problem is they haven't got a lot to work with in terms of ults. They're not building them up quick enough. I don't like that we see Nerf to keep doling out against the tanks on the front point, because we see that Marsa and Ripper, they're pretty much untouched on the top unless it's a right click coming through from the side of Lind, and that means that they're always going to be losing out on these tank doors. They need to get in deep, they need to get rid of Ripper and Marsa, make sure that Cafe is no longer the mainstay of the Team Gigantti defense. Fast over to the Soldier to try and do it. Honey's actually activating the ultimate, same with Gigantti's Mercy. They're going to do both the same thing. A Transcendence is actually forced out by Ripper. That stick, Kobe onto Nil. Does manage to find the opening frag of the fight. Problem is, Molfix mech is down. He doesn't get punished for it as well. LH Cloudy's finding the kill. A double res come out. Molfix back in the mech, and now Nil is up as well. So pretend none of that really actually happened. Oldling is now going to chase Davin out, or at least try to. Davin finds himself to the back line yet again. Lind, caught completely unawares, gets taken out. Oldling still trying to move forward. No way really near that pulse bomb, but Massa has been taken out, and now they can play point. Self-destruct on top of the Cafe. That will definitely clear everybody out of there. And Opening finally find Davin. Team Gigantti, they're going to have to pull back here, or at least buy for time. And Team Gigantti could win out on attrition because their spawn was so much closer than Team Gigantti's. However, they may well decide to come in for a second. Doesn't look like it will be the case. We're going to try and set up on some high grounds, I imagine, make sure that Nil is going to be nice and happy on that Widowmaker. We've seen this happen before. Davin, Jaws, he's going to be the sole operator. He's going to be the skirmisher. Nil, he's going to have two supports at his back. He's going to have a whole lot of support. And he's going to have to try and hit the shots here. He needs to try and shut down Nerf. He needs to try and shut down Obling. The damage boosted shots can one-shot a Tracer. He's already on 50% ult as well. He's been hitting more than shots. Make that 60, in fact. That's got to be another headshot on a tank or something. He's been farming these tanks. Farl and Obling. In fact, Obling just sent out the pulse bomb. Not quite sure what it got. In fact, he actually did end up getting Nil. Tactical Visor opened up as well. Oh, Farl gets stuck, Davin. Look at that. Pays him a visit, does manage to take him out. After all, get res after he did get taken out by RCK, but the problem is they've got the high ground advantage yet again. They can wait for Nil to come back here and double pocket him. Self-destruct thrown out right on top of Lin's face. Oh, and you can see just how much Farl is afraid of going for 1v1 with Davin. The second that Davin came over versus Haber, I was like, hey, yeah. Then he pops the tactical visor, and even then he gets stuck as well. A clean clip into Werbling's head there from Davin, really showing himself to be the alpha DPS. In this matchup, Gigantti, they could smell the playoffs, Jaws. and they really want it. But now, Nil up top, he's got Master at his back. There's the damage-boosted sniper rifle. He can one-shot so many characters with this.
I got really excited for like 30 seconds as we saw Fal actually switch over the hands over. He's actually going to switch over to Tracer. Obling now on the Widowmaker to try and take out Nil. Nil's actually playing this a little bit lower than you'd normally see a Widow. He's jumped down to the ground. Does have that hook though. Davin's made himself known to the back line of Team Singularity, and Honey is actually already going to fall, although they will trade that one. So support, in fact, 2 supports now for a DPS. Not exactly what you want if you're Team Singularity. Nil, look how far he's actually playing up here, past the cart. He's more than happy to just take the fight to Singularity.
And Nil now has got a shooting range. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge out there from Fal, but Fal falls low and he's going to have to get out of dodge rather quickly. He's got maybe 2 HP and Nil's really thirsty to try and get that kill. Unfortunately, he has missed the elevator, so he's going to be sticking down there for a little bit longer. Team Singularity have a little bit of time to regroup. They've got 1 minute and 50 seconds. Master's already down. You cannot res yourself, Jaws.
You cannot, and that'll be Obling just taking control now of the map. That one clip from Davin, nice aim, but you cannot outdamage the Mercy, unfortunately. They are going to be able to push the cart through. RCK going very low, had a Discord orb as well. Actually, he's going to get desuited also. Molefigure's going to be able to claim that for the time being. Nil now finding the head of Honey. Oh no, Lind and Honey are down. He's had enough of this game already. He may have just got stuck, although nearly he actually takes out Fal as well. Nil, this guy's going absolutely, as you'd put it, ham.
Well, Jaws, he just thought he'd give him a sporting chance. Okay, go ahead, Singularity. You can have some meter edge. And then I'm going to come back and show you how it's done. 2 headshots and a nice little finish there onto Fal for style points. And here we're going to see it again.
Oh, boy. Honey didn't stand a chance, just jumped ever so slightly in there. That whole spawn was so close, but a flick of the wrist will kill him. Nil actually takes out Fal yet again, and Honey is going to get destroyed. That'll be Team Gigantti still holding on. 50 seconds remaining, Legday.
And once again, it's not down to the cart meterage that we're looking at. It's the meterage for Team Singularity members as they try and get towards it. Nil's making them pay so much for every meter they advance forward. Look at how far forward he is. He's got that grapple. He's ready to escape. He's going to back off a little bit because he knows that Team Singularity have a regroup now. Lind does have a Transcendent should it be required, but you're going to be using it more to try and clean up the poke damage here because there's no overly dangerous ultimate on the side of Team Gigantti you want to sustain through.
They've had enough now. Obling now on the Genji, so they really just want to eradicate Nil, just take him out of the fight straight up. They are positioning for it, although 2 Vampiries will come out for both Team Singularity and Gigantti. They have found themselves on Ripper, but he does have that Transcendence to use. Obling's just going to get 1v1'd. Okay, that'll happen. Lind's going to go down as well. Gigantti, 2-man advantage. They're going to make their way through the streets, and Davin just playing so far up. He's not actually moving from the cart, really. And that is going to be it. That was a very, very close touch there from Team Singularity, but it wasn't going to happen. Ripper was hungry for blood, and they will stop Singularity in their tracks on the street phase.
Attempts were made, unfortunately too little, too late from the Shamad lad that Obling brought out on the Genji. he had the Mercy Beam, but it was not enough to stand up against the Orbs of Destruction, courtesy of Ripper. You can see why that guy is so high on the EU leaderboards, not breaking under pressure. He's got nerves of steel, and just as well, because he's a man of steel as well.
I like the idea of Shamada lad.
Yeah, the Shamad lads.
Shamad lads. Him and Hanso. The Shamad lads. They got like sideways baseball caps and stuff. If they did summer skins of like Shamad
tattoos
lads,
and everything of
yeah,
dragons.
Exactly. They got to rep them, you know. They got to rep their little squad.
It's very wholesome.
It's very wholesome, also kind of cringy. If you saw Genji running at you with like a sideways baseball cap, like rolled up sleeves, like rolled up jeans,
what, like
and
a
stuff.
switchblade instead of a dragon blade?
Yeah, a tiny switchblade as well. I don't know what I'd think. I'd be like, okay, I guess, all right. You're going to mess with me, but I mean, yeah, whatever. Just go away, please.
Anniversary skins, make it happen.
Team Gigantti this time around are going to be on the attack. Singularity on the defense. We'll see what they want to pick up. But in fact, it does look like they're actually mirroring the composition of Gigantti here, going for Obling on the Junkrat.
Oh, yes. We do like the trifecta in the cafe. It's so hard to break, and attrition's sometimes your only option. We didn't see many deep dives from the side of Team Singularity against that triple threat of the Junkrat, the Mercy, and the Zenyatta. And you know why? It's because you immediately get afflicted with a Discord Orb, and then Junkrat can kill you in very few hits. 156 damage per grenade. That's 3 hits on your Winston, and he's like 12 HP. He's not a happy boy. That's not exact mathematics. Don't quote me.
Exactly 12 HP. Legday 2018.
That's like 32.
Okay, well, we'll work it out later. They do roll out the gate. Gigantti not too surprised to see LH Cloudy on the Rhine. Neil's actually going to jump over to the Genji as well. So it doesn't really seem they want to concentrate too heavy on actually diving Singularity in the cafe. More, like you mentioned, a war of attrition just pushing forward with this Rhine shield.
It will be the dive up that I referenced first on Nepal and Val going around the back. This is pretty smart rotation. We're going to make sure they're all nice and covered from Obling and his grenades. Nice. Now we're going to be seizing the cafe. They want the lattes. They aren't going to be giving any chance for Team Singularity to keep them.
Obling is going to fall first. That's a massive boon of damage already going down. And Gigantti and Diavin, I should say, is actually finding his way to the back line. They've swapped places right now. It was like Team Singularity are attacking because they are at the gates. And Mercy got sent straight into security. A big boot and a mighty, mighty hammer to take her down. Very, very quick cap. Even LH Cloudy getting on the board as well with that flame strike kill onto Foul. They got a lot of time to work with now and not many meters to push it either.
And that was one of the greatest testaments I've ever seen for the power of speed boost. Master Veg just surging Team Gigantti forward, and LH Cloudy, he was having a good time. He loves his hammer swings, and Team Singularity, they very much do not. And now Obling swapping over to the Widowmaker. It's all going to be on his broad Danish shoulders now as we move forward. He's got to really get out his aim, and he's got to hit these headshots. You can see RCK is just doing a little bit of recon there, blocking a couple of shots with the back. He doesn't want to expose his head because he'll be taking a little too much damage. LH Cloudy peeked around the door, a little bit of a simian skull danger there.
It was literally just his head. He was like, hey guys, what's going on around here? Just gets hit, headshot. Obling has almost built himself up towards the ult, although a coalescence will come out of Team Gigantti. They're going to dive straight on top of that, and Molfin's actually going to get demeched and killed. Although I do say that, he did actually self-destruct instead, and Master's going to find Foul. Already finding two members, they should just be able to push on here. And this discoordinated dive from Singularity, you can see Nerfed just caught out alone, and Neil found his way to the backline as well. Dragon Blade onto Obling. They're so close to just pulling it here now.
And one of the main differences between Gigantti and Singularity is that these sort of supports can really take care of themselves. Look, Master has almost got the sound barrier now. Team Gigantti for a couple of meters away from securing their place in the playoffs.
They need to be able to touch right now. Team Singularity only have the one ult to work with. Nil is going to go down. That's a perfect start. We are 0.9 meters away of Gigantti making it to playoffs. Team Singularity need to react. Gigantti playing a little bit more slow here as Nil is going down and making sure they can just reconvene as 6.
But now, every single fight, Jaws, perfection is needed, not just for this map, but for all of Overwatch Contenders EU for the side of Team Singularity. If 4 meters are gained on that payload for Team Gigantti, then Singularity, they're going to Contenders Trials.
They're going to go for the dive here, sound barrier as well, to make sure they're all nice and healthy. Nil is going to find his way to the back line, just try to take out the Mercy, but the Transcendence will come out to save them. Massa and Ripper going to go down. Obling is going to get taken out by RCK, but it doesn't seem to matter. Team Gigantti still at a man disadvantage, just trying to charge ult. They can go for the disengage and they can go again. They still have 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining.
Davin having a quick recharge there, picking up a health back, and he's going to get out of dodge. He does have that Pulse Storm in his back pocket, saving it for a rainy day, and he's going to be raining it down on Team Singularity and their defense. However, they do have the command of the high ground now. Nerfed sticking up there. He's got his little tree, and he's going to be swinging from it. Going to be coming down upon Team Gigantti like a ton of apes. Well, I suppose a ton of apes would be quite a few apes, just for one. Just for one.
What? I'm sure apes weigh more than a ton, Legday, but we'll Google that a little bit later. Nerf's actually going to go for the counter dive onto Nil here, who has almost got that blade available. A Primal Rage to make sure he's kept alive on the point because that was so close to being delivered. Val is going to fall out first. Nerf's going extremely low. He's discorded. They have to make something work. Punny's going to fall as well. 2-man now down for Team Singularity. There's the blade. He was farming off the Winston all along. Davin's going huge. He wants to make it to the finals and win the whole thing yet again. Nil breaks out 2, and Team Gigantti will see you in top 8.
Oh, yes, we will. The Finnish side have secured their place in the top 8 of Overwatch Contenders EU. I'm sure they're very proud of themselves, but now Team Singularity. They've still got 2 maps to play, Jaws, in the big leagues, and they're going to make the most out of them.
Well, they could play 3 if they do find the 2, and we could go on to tiebreaker.
They can even get the win still.
Exactly, but unfortunately it won't matter. Those 2 maps that are secured do send Team Gigantti to the top 8. It's kind of a sad thought, really. Just you've lost the 2 maps, so even if you win the series here, you're still not going to make it. Gigantti, though, and you could see Davin fire in his eyes at the end there.
Yeah, so much fire. And Nil as well, coming up with 2 double kill Dragon Blades. Pretty impressive from the player himself. And of course, he did a pretty good job on Hollywood's second point as well as Widowmaker. One of our replays coming out for him. Good old triple kill. I kind of hope so. We're going to jump to a quick break though, guys. We're going to have the analysts break down this games. After the break, we'll see you soon.